Okay, so Grimes just broke her silence about what really went down between her and Elon Musk. And ladies, gentlemen, I need you to sit down for this one because the tea is scalding hot and honestly, I don't even know where to begin. Word around the block is that this whole situation is way messier than anyone thought, and allegedly there's so much more to the story than what we've been seeing on the surface. So Grimes, the ethereal indie pop queen who we all thought was living her best futuristic fairy tale life with the richest man on the planet, just came out and basically confirmed what everyone has been whispering about for months now. The relationship, done, finished, over. And reportedly the reason why is absolutely wild. Now before we dive into what she actually said, let me remind you of the absolute circus this relationship has been from day one. I mean, these two got together back in 2018, and people were immediately like, what is happening here? Because on one hand you've got Elon Musk, tech billionaire, Tesla CEO, literal rocket man, and on the other hand you've got Grimes, this experimental artist who makes music that sounds like it's transmitted from another dimension. The internet was split between thinking it was the most iconic pairing ever or the most random thing to ever happen in celebrity culture. And trust me, looking back now, both sides were kinda right because this relationship gave us everything. The highs, the lows, the absolutely bizarre middle parts that nobody could have predicted. People online are saying that the cracks started showing way earlier than anyone realized. Remember when they showed up to the Met Gala together in 2018 and everyone was like, okay, this is cute, this is interesting. They're both weird in their own ways, so maybe this works? But then fast forward, and you start seeing the red flags pop up one by one. Allegedly, and I don't know how true this is, but there were already issues brewing behind the scenes even when they were posting cute couple photos and doing interviews together. Grimes was out here defending Elon on Twitter constantly, getting into arguments with random people online about his business practices, his tweets, his whole vibe, and looking back, that should have been sign number one that something wasn't quite right. And then came the baby. Oh my god, the baby. They announced they were having a kid and everyone was like, okay, maybe this will ground them. Maybe this will make things more normal. But wait till you hear what they named their child. XAEA12. I'm not even kidding. They literally named their son a string of characters that look like a Wi-Fi password, and the internet collectively lost its mind. People were making memes, jokes, think pieces about what this says about celebrity culture and detachment from reality. Grimes went on podcasts trying to explain the pronunciation and the meaning behind each symbol, and honestly it just made things more confusing. Reportedly, this was supposed to be this beautiful artistic statement about the future and technology and AI, but instead it became this massive talking point that overshadowed everything else. Ladies, imagine announcing your baby name and the entire world roasts you for weeks. That's what Grimes dealt with. And allegedly Elon thought the whole controversy was funny and didn't really defend her the way she expected. But here's where it gets even messier. While they were together, Elon was still out here being Elon, tweeting absolute chaos at 3 in the morning, getting into fights with the SEC, calling people names, making wild business decisions, and Grimes was just supposed to sit there and be okay with all of it. People online are saying she was slowly losing herself trying to keep up with his lifestyle. She's an artist, right? She needs creative freedom. She needs space to work on her music, her projects, her own identity. But allegedly when you're with someone like Elon Musk, everything becomes about them. The media attention, the constant scrutiny, the drama that follows him everywhere he goes. Word around the block is that Grimes started feeling like she was just becoming an accessory to his story instead of being her own person. And for someone as creative and independent as her, that's basically a nightmare. And trust me, this part will blow your mind, because apparently things really started falling apart around the time Elon became even more obsessed with Twitter. Yeah, that Twitter. The platform he eventually bought for $44 billion like it was a used car. Allegedly, Grimes will be trying to have real conversations with him about their relationship, their family, their future, and he'd be on his phone tweeting memes and getting into arguments with strangers. I don't know how true this is, but there are reports that she felt completely neglected and like his priorities were everywhere except where they should have been. She's talked in interviews before about how lonely it felt sometimes being with him, which is insane when you think about it, because you're literally dating one of the most famous people on earth, but you still feel alone. That tells you everything you need to know. Now let's talk about the breakups because, oh yes, plural. These two didn't just break up once and call it a day. No. They broke up, got back together, broke up again, were semi-separated but still co-parenting, then maybe back together, and honestly nobody could keep track of what was happening. It was like watching a reality show where the producers keep bringing back the drama for ratings. People online are saying this on and off situation was toxic as hell and Grimes was stuck in this cycle of hoping things would get better, but they never really did. Reportedly, every time they'd break up, Elon would do something grand or say something that would pull her back in, and she'd think, okay, maybe this time it'll be different. But allegedly it never was. And then plot twist, because of course there's always a plot twist with these two. While Grimes and Elon were doing their complicated on-off thing, it came out that Elon had secretly had twins with one of his executives. Yeah, twins. With another woman. While he was supposed to be working things out with Grimes. Ladies, imagine finding out through the news that your partner had whole entire babies with someone else. The level of disrespect, the betrayal, the absolute audacity. Word around the block is that Grimes was blindsided by this information, and that's when she really started to wake up and realize this man is not going to change, this situation is not going to get better, and she needs to get out for her own sanity and for her kids. Oh right, but wait till you hear what happened next, because the custody battle? Oh, it got ugly. Really ugly. Reportedly, when things finally ended for good, there was a nasty legal fight over the children. Grimes filed a petition to establish parental rights, and it became this whole public mess. People online are saying Elon used his resources and power to make things as difficult as possible for her, and allegedly she felt completely overwhelmed trying to fight someone with infinite money and an army of lawyers. This is the same man who can buy social media companies on a whim. You really think a custody battle is going to be fair? Word around the block is that Grimes felt trapped and scared and didn't know how to protect her kids while also protecting herself. And here's the thing that really gets me. While all of this is happening, Elon is out here moving on like nothing happened. He's posting on Twitter, he's doing interviews, he's talking about Mars and AI and whatever else, acting like he doesn't have multiple baby mamas and a trail of messy relationships behind him. Let's not forget his history before Grimes either. The man has been married 3 times, twice to the same woman, has like 10 known children with 3 different women, and every single relationship seems to end in some kind of drama. His first wife, Justine, Musk wrote a whole article about their marriage and how controlling he was. His second wife, Tallulah Riley, has said some interesting things in interviews too. And then there was the whole thing with Amber Heard where nobody really knows what happened, but it sounded messy. So Grimes really thought she was going to be the one who changed him? Ladies, this is textbook. You cannot fix a man who doesn't want to be fixed, especially when that man is a billionaire with a god complex. Guys, tell me why this always happens with powerful men. They get into relationships with creative, talented, amazing women, and then slowly try to dim their light. Grimes was thriving before Elon. Her music was innovative. She had complete creative control. She was beloved in the indie scene. Then she gets with him, and suddenly she's doing Tesla photo shoots and making AI concept albums, and people are criticizing her for selling out. Allegedly, she felt pressure to align with his vision, his world, his brand, and in doing that she lost parts of what made her special in the first place. Word around the block is that now that they're done, she's finally starting to reclaim her identity and get back to making the art she actually wants to make without worrying about how it reflects on him or his companies. In her recent statement, and this is what really has everyone talking, Grimes basically said that ending things with Elon was the hardest but most necessary decision she's ever made. She talked about how she tried to make it work for years, how she sacrificed so much of herself, how she genuinely loved him but realized love isn't enough when you're being diminished and disrespected. People online are saying this is her villain origin story, like she's done playing nice, and now she's ready to speak her truth. Reportedly, she's working on new music that's going to address everything that happened, and allegedly it's going to be raw and emotional and completely different from anything she's done before. I don't know how true this is, but there are rumors that some of the lyrics directly call out Elon and his behavior, and if that's true, the internet is going to absolutely lose it when this album drops. But here's what's really wild. Despite everything, Despite the messiness and the pain and the public drama, Grimes still has to co-parent with this man. She still has to communicate with him, make decisions together, and navigate sharing children with someone who has more power and resources than most people could ever imagine. Word around the block is that she's terrified of being completely shut out of her kids' lives if she says too much or pushes back too hard. Allegedly, there are NDAs involved, legal agreements that limit what she can say publicly, and that's why she's been so careful about how she words things. But people online are saying she's reaching a breaking point where she doesn't care anymore about the legal consequences. She just wants her truth to be heard. Ladies, imagine being in a relationship where you can't even freely talk about your own experience because the other person has that much control over you. That's not love. That's not partnership. That's a power imbalance that's honestly terrifying. And Grimes is finally starting to realize that and take steps to protect herself and her children. Reportedly, she's been leaning on her friends and family more, getting therapy, and really working on healing from what was clearly a traumatic relationship dynamic. She's been posting more on social media lately, looking happier, looking more like her old self, and people are here for it. The comments are full of support, people saying they're proud of her for leaving, that she deserves so much better, that they can't wait to see what she does next now that she's free from that situation. And believe me, this is just the beginning, because there are still so many unanswered questions. What really happened during those secret breakups? What was said behind closed doors? How much did she know about the other women? What kind of agreements did they have? Allegedly, there's so much more to the story that we haven't heard yet, and word around the block is that Grimes is slowly getting ready to share everything. Whether that's through her music, through interviews, or maybe even through a book someday, people online are saying we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. The real tea, the truly explosive details, those are still coming. And when they do, it's going to change how everyone sees Elon Musk, because right now he's got this image of being this genius visionary, but reportedly the women who've been close to him know a very different side that the public doesn't see. Grimes breaking her silence might just be the beginning of a much bigger reckoning, and honestly, I'm here for every second of it because these stories need to be told, and these powerful men need to be held accountable for how they treat the people in their lives.